Hello, hello. My name is Linda, also known as Tortajala around the internet. I love creative journaling and all things stationery. Today, I want to share a new pen unboxing with you, as well as more thoughts and reflections, because I've actually had this pen for over 2 months and I've been using it. And I decided to put this video together to offer a bit more reflection and hopefully discussion with you, as I am a beginner in the fountain pen world and I know that I still have a lot to learn. So I bought a Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0 in the brown Stardust resin. And just a little bit of backstory. This is basically the most expensive pen that I have in my collection compared to everything else I have that is budget friendly, under 100, like really under the $50 range. And it's just sort of interesting how I fell into this pen purchase in a way, even though I have Leonardo on my wish list for sure. But I simply couldn't decide like which pen I wanted to get first because there are so many beautiful resins to choose from. And I also wasn't sure about which model, what size would suit me. But it was a matter of time before I bought one, but I just didn't realize it would be in this fashion. So, the story time of how I bought this pen is basically I follow Rule on Paper on YouTube. And in the beginning of this year, like I saw a video where he showed that he bought a pen by Leonardo on the site Catawiki. And I had never heard of the website Catawiki before, I just never knew about it. So it is like an eBay type of auction website, but the difference in this case is that it was actually Leonardo themselves putting up the auctions. So the pens are coming direct from Leonardo here in Italy, and I am located in Italy. So I just had more confidence like buying in this way through Catawiki. And so I started looking at the listings and sort of stalking the website. And it seems that Leonardo must have a contract with Katawiki or something because they sell certain models only on Katawiki. And they also have weekly listings and they look like prototypes, experiments, maybe overstock items as well. So you can definitely get a very good deal on certain pens or access pens that don't exist elsewhere. So I was trying to be prudent about it and I was watching the auctions and I just wanted to see what would happen because I had never used Katawiki. And so when I saw one of the Momento Zero Grandes for a good price, I just wanted to try it out. And I've seen the Stardust resin before, but it usually has a lot of blue. So when I saw the listing that was labeled as brown Stardust, I was actually very interested because I wanted a brown pen. And I ended up bidding thinking that I wouldn't win because it was my first time and I don't really know how like things go, but I wanted to go through like the bidding process and fill everything out on the website and just test it out to make sure that I knew how to like do all of that stuff. And again, I didn't think I would win because I didn't put a high price, but I ended up winning. So that's how I ended up with my first expensive, pen purchase, which I suppose is not really that expensive in comparison, but I am really happy with my purchase, even though it's a little scarier now because I have broken through that barrier. And I think if you're a pen enthusiast, you know what I mean. You might remember many years ago when a $5 gel pen seemed like really expensive, but then you keep graduating, right, on the price. Um, your tolerance level, I suppose, just keeps going higher as you learn more and appreciate more pens. And, nowadays, like hundreds of dollars for like a nice fountain pen really isn't that weird. Um, and I do realize that pricing is subjective and everything boils down to what is worth it for you. But I do want to share that I got this pen, and that is how I ended up getting it. And I'm going to share the unboxing with you. And was recorded like a couple months ago because that is when I actually got the pen, and I have been using it for quite some time. So the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0 Stardust or Brown Stardust. This pen comes in like a giant box, which I think is sort of unnecessary, but I suppose it's that way because sometimes the pen comes with ink. Um, but in my case, it doesn't. It just comes in a giant, clamshell box. Again, I just think it's a little unnecessary, but, what am I supposed to do with this giant pen box? I don't know about you guys that collect fountain pens. Like, what do you do with the giant boxes? I just think, again, that is a bit much. But the pen itself, you can see that it is the model. Um, the resin called Stardust that had been released a while back, but the one released, internationally was very blue. And this one was actually labeled as brown stardust, and it could have been because they did experiments, with the resins, and this was a version that came out, just very brown. And they do still have it on Catawiki, at least as of the making of this video. So if you're interested in it, you can definitely go bid on Catawiki and get this sort of brown stardust version of the Leonardo Momento Zero 2.0. So this is like the bigger sized pen of all of their models and the latest version that has an ink window and it is a piston fill and this is a steel nib and I got it in a fine and it has like their Finiche like engraving on the nib. Um, and I assume that they tune it, sort of like in-house, even if it is like a Yovo nib, I suppose. But yeah, I definitely took my time in sort of admiring the resin, like the swirls. There's this like very brilliant blue that's sort of like underneath all of the sort of golden brown kind of stardust that is swirled around. And um, it is sort of like slightly translucent because if you were to shine a light, you could sort of see it through it a little bit, even though obviously the resin has like color to it. But yeah, it is very, very pretty if you are obviously into these colorways. But of course, one of the interesting things that I've learned when it comes to any kind of like resin type of pen is that every one will be unique. So, what you receive, of course, is not necessarily going to match exactly what you see in the marketing photos. And I do think that is an interesting um, thing about these types of fountain pens. Because usually, when you think about, buying products, you would know what you're buying at least pretty closely. But when it comes to these types of finishes like resins, you are going to get that random element. And I don't know if perhaps some people, or maybe unconsciously, you sort of like that. Sort of like when people buy blind boxes, like you don't know what it is, but you sort of know, because it's one of the ones. Um, and I guess when it comes to this type of swirly resin type of pen, you're going to get something like similar-ish, but you don't know what you will exactly get. So there could be an element of like how cool it is and obviously excitement of when you do unbox it. So I definitely would be interested in hearing what you think as like a fountain pen person when it comes to these types of pens where you don't really know exactly what you're going to get. And I know that sometimes retailers, if like the variances are like huge, they sometimes do list the pens separately. And of course, if you're able to go into a physical shop, you would be able to pick which one that you wanted to buy, which is really nice. But I do realize that it is an interesting aspect of buying these types of pens, which I don't know if that exists in like other um, like product categories. You know what I mean? Like when you buy things in a store or online, but just like other things that like there's this element of surprise. So I think that is definitely very interesting. But My first impressions of this pen were very positive because I received the pen, very quickly. Courier delivery service, no issues. I opened it up; it was, undamaged, perfect. It's like a very pretty pen, and I inked it up immediately and started using it, and it wrote, perfectly fine. Although I have to say that I was not sure what to expect because I have actually never tried any of these pens in person. Being like someone from a small town and never been to a pen show and don't have like real life pen friends, I don't get the opportunity to try things before and then maybe have a better informed opinion when I'm making my purchases. I am really just relying on my own impressions, watching videos online and that kind of thing. And I sort of didn't know what to expect because, again, I'm also a beginner, so I don't have a lot of experience or other pens to compare with. Um, Certainly, I knew off the bat that it wrote well. There was no scratching, all the lines up and down, left and right, diagonal. But what was interesting to me was that it sounds different. And I don't know how to maybe explain it because perhaps I don't have like the proper vocabulary. Um, but it wasn't, at first I thought it was like the singing aspect that some people say that the nib will sing because something's a little off, maybe just because of how you personally hold the pen and the angle, and it just makes like a sound. But I don't think it's that. I really do think that there is just a different feel and sound when I write with this pen compared to other pens like a Twisby or, Kaweco. And obviously, I have a lot of Chinese pens like Jinhao, that kind of stuff. I feel like all my other pens that I've used, I really don't notice much of anything, like in terms of um, sound or specific feel. And with this, I definitely noticed something. And at first, I thought there was something wrong with it, but then I doubted myself because I wasn't sure. And interestingly enough, after writing with it, pages and pages, because I did do my morning pages with it for quite a while just to like, get some mileage in and actually use it, I felt like it changed. And so I don't know if that is a thing or if it's actually me, the person, the one changing and maybe adapting to the pen in the way that I'm holding it and writing, like just your grip. Like as you use something for a longer period of time, some things might change, right? So I found that after using the pen for a while, I still feel that there is a different sound, sort of like a very light pencil like feedback to the way that this type of nib writes. But it seems like it gets better and better. And again, it hasn't been years or anything, it's only been 2 months, but I do feel like there's that difference. And part of me is trying to figure out like, is it because I spent more money on this pen that I'm just putting in more time and trying to notice the differences and then obviously using it more? And that is why I am appreciating it more? Or is it really objectively a better pen? And it's such a hard question to answer because I think as humans, it is impossible for us to be completely, objective. But one thing I do want to note is that I do have quite a few, cheap Chinese pens, and even the ones that are like a little bit more expensive than like Jinhao's, with different resins and things like that. I do notice a difference, of course, in quality. The Leonardo Momento Zero Grande, or all other pens, I think, they are, hand turned, right, from a bar of resin. And so when you look at the resin and you spin the pen around, like I don't notice any impurities or like weirdness, or lines or scratches or like, just anything that would make it seem like a little off. Whereas in some of my Chinese pens, I do sometimes notice like an impurity or like a black dot or something. Maybe something fell in the resin. Um, there there have been like some noticeable things, and for obvious reasons in terms of the price of what you're paying. And one thing that I've always noted about my Chinese pens is that I have not used them for like years and years, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. Um, at that point, there might be an even major, like bigger difference because if the Chinese pens are not made as well, they might just not last as long. And certainly, I have already had Jin Pao pens that have cracked and broken. Maybe I have been treating them badly, but certainly they do feel much more, plasticky. And I'm talking about like the Jinhao 82s that are like very, very cheap. And obviously, um, you know, they're like injection molded, I think. And so, it's just a completely different thing. But yeah, those are my sort of like thoughts, like swirling around about this pen and this purchase. And again, I want to say that I am really happy about my purchase. And one thing is that I'm sort of worried because of having broken that barrier and now thinking like, oh, all these pens, they're not that expensive. Like they're all just in the same category. So that is a little dangerous. So we will see what happens from here. But one thing, again, I have noticed is that this is a fine nib, but it doesn't really seem that fine. So I assume it is more of like when people consider like a Western fine, as opposed to like Japanese fine nibs that are like really, really um, fine. But I think that I would want to go larger. And one of the good things about all of these Leonardo pens is that you can switch the nibs, and they do also sell nibs and even gold nibs directly on their website if you did want to swap things out. And you would obviously need a tool for like the piston mechanism, but it is possible to do. And I have seen, I think, some videos from other people who have done that. So that is one thing to consider if I ever wanted to like change things up. But for now, I'm definitely going to just keep writing with this and keep trying to like take note of how I feel. It's so weird because sometimes I feel like I do not know how to um, note like my own feelings about something because I'm second guessing myself if I am. I mean, obviously, I'm biased, right? We are all biased in one way or another. So, how do you become more objective? But maybe at the end of the day, all of that doesn't even matter because really, if you enjoy the pen and you like the pen and it gives you a good experience, then that's fine. And something else could be, very expensive or very sought after, but if you don't like it, then it's not for you, right? Like it doesn't really matter that much. It really is just a very personal experience and decision. And I know that out in the pen world, um, that happens a lot, right? Like some people just swear by certain pens and other people no because, there are certain deal breaker elements and things like that. I feel like I'm still sort of floating in the middle because I'm still trying to figure things out and see what it is that um, I would really consider like a deal breaker or things that I really, really like or things that are just sort of in the middle for me because it doesn't really matter that much to me at this point. So, um, yeah, I don't know. But this is my new pen, and I just wanted to share my thoughts as well because these are like the fountain pen things that are going around in my head. And so, thank you so much for watching this video and listening to me just go off on fountain pens. And yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a lovely day. And please do let me know down in the comments what you think. If you have any words of wisdom or thoughts or reflections, I would love to hear from you. And until next time, bye.